Welcome to A Marvelous Life. I'm Nashology, and today we are looking at one of the biggest Marvel events of all time. That's right, as far as game-changing events go, the House of M is one of the most important comic book stories in Marvel's 70-plus year history. So pay attention. The very first video I threw up on this channel is based on the story Avengers Disassembled. In this story, the Scarlett Witch goes absolute apeshit, kills 3 beloved Avengers, destroys the Avengers mansion, and essentially causes the Avengers to completely disband. It was an absolute bloodbath of an event that paved the way for the next 10+ years of storytelling. Well, that story ended with the Scarlet Witch being defeated in combat by Doctor Strange. Afterwards, she was taken by her father Magneto in hopes that her fractured mind could be repaired. You know, so she doesn't do something like this. That brings us to this story. The House of M is a direct sequel to Avengers Disassembled. It all starts with the premise that Wanda Maximoff is out of control, and she needs to be stopped. When the Avengers and the X-Men get together to confront this problem, everything changes. And I mean everything. MCU fans out there, this story is what gave birth to Wanda's psychotic break in Phase 4, starting with her actions in Wandavision and culminating with her attack on all of reality in the Multiverse of Madness. It was all born from this story. So sit back, relax, and without further ado, I present to you the story of the House of M, Part 1. As the sound of her screams fill the air, the woman violently grabs the hand of the person closest to her. Anything to keep the pain at bay. But the pain is almost over as she feels the finish line edging closer. Only a few more moments and this will pass. Passing her the new, beautiful twins, Doctor Strange smiles with relief at the successful birth. As Wanda Maximoff and the Vision celebrate the expansion of their family, nothing could ruin this incredible Stop this now, Wanda. The words echo throughout her head as Professor Xavier makes his presence known. He will not stand by while Wanda abuses her mutant gift. Screaming back in defiance, Wanda tells the professor to leave. This is her moment, and no one will take it away from her. But this moment doesn't exist. Wanda has no children. The Vision is dead. She is warping reality to her will, and the professor will not stand for it. In a final attempt to keep her dream alive, Wanda cries out for her children. It's all she's ever wanted. But the dream is not meant to last. As Wanda resets the reality within her bedroom, her dream fades into nothingness. Collapsing to the floor, she feels the inevitability creep in. Her mind is broken. Clenching Professor Xavier, Wanda wails as her true reality hits her. The world in which her family no longer exists. Watching the sunrise, Professor Charles Xavier ponders the precarious situation. Wanda is a danger to everyone on the planet. Joining Charles on the balcony, Eric Lencher steps forward, the screams of her daughter still ringing in his head. Charles tells Eric the unavoidable truth. Wanda is not getting better. Her mind is a shattered glass window. Putting the pieces back together is a likely impossible scenario. Looking down in shame, Eric explains that this is all his fault. After years of warring with the human race, it was his own actions that likely fragmented Wanda's mind. Now, he's lost the war
and his children. As Eric leaves, Charles allows the ruins of Genosha to wash over him. If they don't deal with Wanda now, the entire fate of the mutant species will be at risk.
This shot of Genosha's ruins is important. Let me explain why. For as long as anyone can remember, Eric has hated humanity. He's made it his life's work to ensure that mutants reach the top of Earth's food chain. Genosha was originally an island that promoted mutant slavery, but after a civil war, the island was given to Eric to become a mutant-only nation. Why? Because he was a terrorist, and if he stopped attacking humanity, they would let him have a place to live. Unfortunately, this mutant utopia didn't last long, as it was soon torn to the ground by a devastating attack that killed 16 million mutants. Genosha is both Eric's greatest accomplishment and his worst failure.
As the X-Jet makes its final descent, the X-Men look down at the fast-approaching Avengers Tower. An emergency beacon was put out, calling forth all X-Men and Avengers to meet at the tower ASAP. Whatever is happening is very serious. As the X-Men leave the comfort of their jet behind, they unknowingly walk off to one of the most difficult experiences they'll ever endure. Inside the tower, the entire current roster of the new Avengers waits in silence. The mood within the air gives off an uncomfortable energy. Something big is definitely happening. With their attention focused on his next words, Professor Xavier calmly states the purpose of this emergency. It's time to decide the fate of Wanda Maximoff. With her fractured mind desperately pleading to heal, Wanda peacefully sleeps as her brother Pietro tearfully watches on. Only moments pass before Pietro notices their father standing before them, a look of defeat painted across his face. Knowing he won't wake his unconscious sister, Pietro screams at their father. The X-Men and the Avengers are meeting right now. They're going to kill Wanda. Do something. Fearing the inevitable decision, Eric tells his son that they may be right. Wanda may be too far gone. Refusing that statement, Pietro pleads for his help. They are going to kill Wanda if they do not act. With his inability to protect his daughter all too clear, Eric snaps back in defense. What do you want me to do? Fearing the loss of his beloved sister, Pietro collapses to the floor. His entire life has been devoted to protecting her. He can't go on without her. Seeing his family fall apart around him, Eric closes his eyes. He knows he deserves every second of this torture. Back at Avengers Tower, the group debate the horrendous decision before them. Stepping forward with assertion, Steve Rogers tells the group that Wanda will not be put down like an animal. They will find a way to save her. With a look of doubt, Xavier says he's done everything he can. Wanda's mind has fractured beyond psychic repair. Any means of healing will need to be outside of telepathic means. Adding his own brand of misery, Doctor Strange also reveals his failures to intervene. The mystic arts show no cure. Failing to see an obvious solution, the entire group nervously avoids the impending decision. That is, until Emma Frost steps up to the plate. She explains that Wanda has the power to alter reality. If this goes unchecked, the entire population of Earth will be in danger. She needs to be removed from the equation. Realizing this decision will not come easy, the group decides to wait on the vote. They need to see Wanda first. They need to see if she truly is beyond saving. Only mere moments after landing in Genosha, the group make a startling discovery. Professor Xavier cannot sense Wanda's presence. Something has happened. Adding further to the mystery, Doctor Strange reveals that he also cannot sense Wanda. It appears she's no longer on the island. Feeling incredibly uneasy, Spider-Man decides to speak up. His spider sense isn't detecting anything. It doesn't make sense. It should be feeling something. Maybe there's no problem after all. Maybe this is all a big misunderstanding. Maybe. And with a soft thud, the old man carefully shuts the door behind him. Proceeding downstairs with extra careful steps, he begins to check his recently filled mailbox. With his frail hands clumsily picking through the letters, he takes a long, hard look at his name. Captain Stephen Rogers. Upon leaving his apartment, Stephen is met with the same familiar sights he has come to know. A neighborhood full of mutants. Homo sapiens superior. The most prosperous group of living organisms in the world. With his hat worn low to cover his face, Stephen walks off. As a regular human, he's only a second-class citizen. It's best not to draw attention. As the sound of the music drowns out most conversations, a man begins to walk through the crowded club in Hell's Kitchen. Proceeding forward, the man feels the eyes of the club's patrons obtrusively scanning him. Is it because he's human, or because he's a cop? Reaching the back office, the man steps through the unprotected door. He's here to see someone, and he always gets what he wants. And luckily, he finds just the person he was searching for. Luke Cage, leader of the local crime syndicate. With the smug look forming across his face, Luke Cage asks who he is, and why has he come to his club. Meeting his smugness with his own brand of arrogance, Detective Sam Wilson asks Luke where he was last night. Someone beat Wilson Fisk into a coma. Unable to hide his smile, Luke tells the detective that the perpetrator should be thanked. Wilson Fisk is a miserable excuse for a man. Looking on with suspicion, Detective Wilson knows he can't be trusted. There's something going on with Luke Cage, and he's going to find out what. Awakening from his nightmare, Logan unsheathes his claws and attacks the red-haired woman on his bed. Revealing herself as Mystique, she confusingly tells Logan to stand down. He had a nightmare, nothing more. Unsure of what's happening, Logan darts for the door, his thoughts clouding out the noise around him. How did he get here? When did he leave Genosha? Outside his living quarters, Logan is stopped by S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Jessica Drew and S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Mortimer. With a look of shock overtaking his face, Logan's heart rate begins to elevate. Sprinting up the stairs, the feeling of a strong wind adds resistance to every step he takes. Reaching the top, Logan peers over the edge of the railing, horror etched across his hard exterior. Where's the Avengers? The X-Men? This isn't real. This can't be. But unfortunately for Logan, this is real. Very real. Standing on the edge of an unknown world, Logan recalls the way things were, the way things are meant to be. He remembers hunting as a boy, finding a world of superheroes, the love of his life, finding his new family, and Genosha. He remembers Genosha. His entire life has been a mystery. His age, his family, hundreds of years of life. All of it a fleeting whisper. Until now. Sweat beads form across Logan's brow as reality hits him like a ton of bricks. His reality is gone. His world changed. But for some reason, he remembers every second of his existence. His memory has finally returned. Catching up to Logan, Agent Mystique asks what's wrong with him. She's never seen him freak out like this. It isn't normal. What's going on with you, Logan? Maybe you just need an adjustment. The life of a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent can wear you down. We all know it. Let's go get you fixed up, Logan. Let's go get you back to normal. Normal. That word again. No, this isn't normal. And I'll do my damnness to set things right. And without a moment's hesitation, Logan hops over the railing of the helicarrier. Using his mutant ability to recover from the long fall, Logan takes in the sights of this new world. There is only one person capable of changing reality. And maybe they really should have killed her when they had the chance. Warm memories begin to flood Logan's mind as he approaches the X-Mansion. The only true home he's ever had. Sneaking in through the back entrance, an uneasy feeling sweeps over the mutant. But he must ignore those feelings. He needs to find Charles. But the scent here is different. No Charles, no Scott, nobody. Everything here is all wrong. But he must try anyways. He must find the master bedroom. It's the only way to know for sure. Looking down in disappointment, Logan knew all too well he wouldn't find who he was looking for. The whole world is upside down. Why would this be any different? But what the hell? What can you lose? In a deep, but still quiet voice, Logan lets out a raspy question. Where's Charles Xavier? Scared, the poor man tells Logan there is no Charles Xavier here. He's owned this house for 15 years. He has never heard of the name Xavier. With his head hung low, Logan backs off. He can't do this alone. He needs his family. He needs his friends. And here, there are neither. Arriving in downtown New York City, Logan knows the X-Men may not exist here. But he's not just a member of the X-Men. He has other friends in high places. Looking up at the magnificent Stark Tower, Logan can only hope there are Avengers here. They may be his last hope to figuring out what's going on. But it's odd. The streets, the skies, everywhere is filled with mutants. In fact, humans don't even seem to exist here at all. Approaching a service station, Logan asks to see Tony Stark, to which the mutant clerk respectfully declines. He doesn't live here. But it doesn't matter anyway, as a whisper from behind lets Logan know he's been followed. Turning around, he knows he's about to be very busy. Because in this world, the Red Guard are S.H.I.E.L.D's most prolific Black Ops soldiers, the most dangerous agents S.H.I.E.L.D. has to offer. And they've come for their leader, Logan. Mystique explains that Logan is experiencing brain malfunctioning, but it's nothing they can't fix. They just need to bring him back to S.H.I.E.L.D. Command and everything will be fine. Everything will be normal. Well, normal won't cut it here. Ripped from the streets of New York, Wolverine unsheathes his metal claws. Whoever's responsible for this better speak up. Looking down, a mountain of a man steps forward. It's Luke Cage, and surrounding him are very familiar faces. With a sense of urgency, Luke tells the stranger to cut out his tracker, or else his friend will do it for him. He won't say it twice. Still shaken from both the standoff with the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents and the sudden teleportation, Logan asks what's going on here. But that was the wrong answer. Losing consciousness, Logan feels the blood quickly leave his body as his tracker is forcibly removed from his neck. And now, Hawkeye is going to have to clean up this mess.
We're almost at the halfway point of this event, so let's sum it up so far. In the previous event, Avengers Disassembled, Wanda went a little nuts and tore apart the Avengers, blaming them for taking away her children, who never existed in the first place. This outburst causes the deaths of Ant-Man, Hawkeye, and the Vision. So, after a few months of sitting and waiting, it was determined that Wanda's mind was not healing. She continued to be a mess, leaving the entire planet in danger. This leads to the start of our story, where the Avengers and the X-Men have gone to Genosha to deliberate her fate. But then, the world went white. Now, reality seems to have changed. Regular humans are not on top of the food chain anymore. Instead, mutants have taken over. The only problem? Well, nobody remembers any of this. Nobody except Logan. What's happening? Well, Logan is about to get to the bottom of it. Let's finish off the first half of House of M.
With the sun shining down, King Eric Magnus looks over his kingdom, the kingdom of mutants. Turning around, Eric's grandson greets him with a smile. He's made something new today. His powers of reality manipulation are growing by the day. He will grow up in a world where mutants are the dominant life form. He will not be a slave to the system. He will not know the life that could have been. Grabbing Hawkeye by the arm, Luke Cage tells him to stand down. He may enjoy killing mutants, but this one is not to be touched. Screaming in defense, Hawkeye says he's done trusting mutants, every single one of them. That tracker in his head is going to bring the roof down on everyone. As the two continue to argue, Logan slowly recovers from the assassination attempt. His ears continue to ring as his consciousness begins to reform. With the left hemisphere of his brain beginning to receive signals, Logan mutters a simple question. How long was I out? Watching the mutant stand up from Hawkeye's arrow wound, Misty Knight tells him roughly 30 seconds have passed. Shaking his head in annoyance, Logan breaks the news. Unfortunately for the group, that's 30 seconds too long. Next time you kidnap someone, try removing their tracker first. Tearing through the walls, two mighty sentinels prepare to do what they were built for: destroy human rebels. As the Sentinels prepare to fire a third blast into the remaining survivors, the man with the mysterious cloak springs to action. He only has one shot at this. As Logan and the team dust themselves off, they realize they just narrowly avoided death. Staring out the high-rise windows, an unsettling truth sets in. Cloak wasn't able to save them all. The bodies of those left behind are now engulfed in flames. Flushed with anger, Luke Cage tells Logan that he better be worth it. They lost a lot of the resistance today. They gave their lives so Logan could be found. Recovering from the day's events, Logan looks to Cage in confusion. Why were you looking for me? Why am I important to you? Luke cautiously proceeds. Something is happening. The world is not what it seems, and then the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s Red Guard goes AWOL. It's all connected. Peering down at Logan, Luke confidently asks, "Why did you escape from S.H.I.E.L.D.? Tell me true and leave nothing out." So, Logan begins to speak. 2 days ago, mutants were hated and feared. It's humans who ruled the world. That's the way it's always been. But it all changed with the Scarlett Witch. She had gone mad, and the entire world was at risk. So the Avengers and X-Men teamed up to take her out, but it never happened. Before we could end the risk once and for all, the world went white. And this world was in its place. Logan continues to bear the truth. Wanda was psychotic. She killed many of her friends, including you, Hawkeye. There was no other answer. She had to die. As shivers are sent down the group's spine, they know the girl was telling the truth. The girl who told them everything Logan just confirmed. This world is not real. The same day Logan escaped S.H.I.E.L.D., a young girl found Luke Cage and his human resistance. And these people right here are all that remains. The only thing stopping the mutants from completely annihilating the human race. The girl appeared out of nowhere, also a stranger to this world. It seems that Logan isn't the only one who remembers what was. So does she. She says her name is Layla Miller. When the world went white, she woke up with powers. The ability to unlock the unconscious memories of others. Her mutant power screams for the world to remember. A fact that Luke Cage confirms. This is why we were looking for you, Logan. This is why you're here. You and Layla are the key to fixing this. Happy that she's not crazy, Layla asks Logan to help her. Help her restore the world. Help her tear down this nightmare. Regaining his confidence, Logan tells the group that they're going to finish this. They're going to stop Wanda's nightmare and end Eric's false utopia. It doesn't matter if this world is good or not. It doesn't matter if people are happy here. Reality is being forcibly changed, and that cannot be allowed. Those with power shall not abuse it. And with one final look, Logan tells the group the plan. To overthrow a king, we're going to need a queen. At the Summers residence, the sound of a key being placed into a locking mechanism echoes throughout the quiet room. Stepping through the door, Emma Frost is shocked to see a group of strangers in her living room. But before Logan can speak, Emma uses her telepathic powers to freeze everyone in their place. But Logan's plan works perfectly, because Emma cannot keep herself from scanning their thoughts. But it's only one of them that takes her by surprise. Only one which will shake her to her core. As Emma Frost regains her footing, she begins to feel the false reality close in. With her memories restored, she feels immeasurable anger boil up inside of her. This House of Magnus? This mutant utopia? We're going to burn it to the ground, and we're going to kill Eric and his kids.
And just like that, we're at the halfway point of one of the most important events in Marvel's history. With Layla Miller at hand, Logan and Luke can now start amassing an army. Because only an army will be capable of taking down King Eric and House of M. In the next video, We will see the exciting conclusion to this story when Wanda's fake reality is brought to its knees. How will this end? Only in one of the most dramatic and devastating ways Marvel could think of. The ending will send ripples through all of Marvel's storytelling for the next decade, and a huge portion of the world's population will not come out the same. I'm Nashology, and we'll see you for part 2 of the House of M.